Alright guys, not too long ago I checked out the Cyelee Cat SRS6 PRO, which has a reticle system in it that provides astigmatism relief. And for me it worked. There's different kinds of astigmatisms out there, but for me it worked fantastic. Most clear and crisp dot I've ever seen on a pistol. I mean, it was absolutely perfectly round. It blew my mind because I'm not used to seeing that with my astigmatism. I'm used to seeing fuzzy starburst dots, and this 6 MOA looked just as small because it actually looked perfectly round and crisp to me, as most 2 and 3 MOA dots do, because my astigmatism usually makes them blur out to the size of 6 MOA. So let me tell you, if you can actually see this nice and crisp as it should be, which it aims to correct if you have an astigmatism, and it worked for me with that SRS6 reticle, that's still actually a pretty small freaking dot when it's not all fuzzy and starburst looking. But the Cat Pro that we just tested with that system, that was a RMSc footprint. So for smaller, like carry size gun, pistols, micros, subcompact, what have you. But the Wolf here, as you can see there, is RMR 407, 507 footprint, what have you. So, you know, it's a larger size RMR footprint. So should give us the same awesome clarity with my astigmatism, but it's just a larger optic, so it's going to have the larger window, and it's meant for, you know, more normal or full-size pistols or anything that has the RMR footprint. And you can even run these up on rifles and shotguns if you get the Picatinny adapter. If you're new to the channel, I've been running Cyelee for several years now. Absolutely love their optics. Couldn't come more highly recommended for me. I got a ton of reviews on their products. Check out the parts, accessories, and optics playlist on the channel for all that. Usually they're going to give you most of the specs you need on the box. Yep, right there. You got a lockout mode to where you won't, if you accidentally push the button during combat or whatever, it's not going to change anything, turn the brightness up or down, shut it off, nothing like that. So you can also operate it manually, or it's got a standby shake awake mode, so it'll shut off on its own if you have it set up to do so after a few minutes. And then as soon as you pick it up, it'll automatically kick back on for you, so there's no fumbling with the buttons in the dark or anything like that to get it to come back on for you. See, we got 9 daylight settings, 2 night vision, so basically this is going to be fully daytime bright, which I will show you guys, and later on in the video, stay tuned, I will get some focused images of that dot to give you a more realistic look of what it actually appears. Let's see here, up to 50,000 hour battery life, you know, if it's on a low setting, 1 MOA clicks. But here's everything that comes in the box. Got a little patch there, Velcro patch they send with them now. They always have awesome instructions, collar, everything you could want to know. Again, lifetime warranty, if I didn't say that, should be in here somewhere. Usually it is, but I know it's a lifetime warranty. Like I said, I've been running these for years now. Quick reference card, more about zeroing there. I was going to say usually there's 2. It'll show you kind of where your impact zones will be depending on where you zero it for. Screen wipe, decal. These always come with a ton of hardware. So many different thread pitches and different length screws. I mean, look at all that. There's probably like 30 screws there. I've never got one of these and ever needed to run out for more hardware to get it to fit a gun like I've had to do with others. So almost guaranteed it's going to fit whatever you want to put it on with all the hardware they include. So there's your tools, you know, for mounting and zeroing. Make sure I didn't miss anything there. They always come with the battery. It's got a nice little rubber cover, and of course it's got a little lanyard hole there so you can put it on your key ring or tie it to whatever. So, you know, if you're afraid you're going to lose it, you won't lose it that way. And that'd be real easy to remove, you know, like that. It's just difficult because I only have this little thing to hold on to. Windage elevation, that's where you adjust it. They should give us nice little clicks. I'll try to capture that. But there she is there. Side battery tray, so you do not have to dismount to re-zero the optic. See if I can get it kicked on there. Yep, she's ready to go right out of the box. That's actually not a bad focus on that dot there. That's about what she looks like, although through the camera I am seeing a little fuzz and halo because the camera never quite perfectly focuses on it, but that's a pretty good size representation there. Let me look real quick. Yeah, that's a pretty good representation of the size of the dot. And I mean, we're in broad daylight here. Full sun, obviously, you can see it easy. It looks even more bright red in person. And with my glasses on, there's none of that fuzziness around there. That's just the camera. So yeah, once again, nice perfectly round dot with my astigmatism as long as I got my glasses on. Which again, it's more than can be said for a lot of others. Usually with my glasses, they still look fuzzy, and this one don't. So we'll go ahead and get her mounted up here real quick. I'll throw my target stand here up. See where she's impacting, make any necessary adjustments. And then, well, the steel's down, but we'll start knocking the steel down. And hopefully later in this video, before we wrap it up, I'll get down to the rifle range and make at least 50-yard shots with this thing. But I've had no problem in the past. There's multiple videos up shooting their optics with handguns like this. 100 yards, no problem. I also want to point out their screws always come with that dry thread locker, which is awesome because you can just come straight down to the range, torque her down, and you're good to go. It's not going to fly off on you. Days of old where I used to have to use the liquid thread locker, if I tried to do that on the range and start shooting, my optic would fly off after a few shots. You'd have to let that sit overnight, minimum, usually 24 hours plus. So this dry stuff that all their screws come with is awesome because you're just ready to go as soon as you mount it. All right, there she is all mounted up. Getting ready to go here. Pretty nice audible clicks. Wanted you guys to hear that real quick. Nice force feedback too. I can feel every one of the clicks, but you guys should be able to hear it. And the one on the side clicks just as good as well. Alright, I just kind of lined it up with the iron sights. It's not going to be 100%, but it should get us close to start. Eyes and ears I'm wearing. Freaking mosquito. Eyes and ears by Shell Shock. Most comfortable pair I've ever worn. I got a different pair of sunglasses too that are equally as comfortable. Absolutely love these. Check them out, linked under the video. We'll go for that dot on the left. Man, I gotta get some bug spray. My leg is itching like crazy now. I think we're good to go. I was aiming at that left dot. The very first shot, I knew I pulled it. And then the second shot went in the exact same freaking hole, high right of the left dot there. And I was like, okay. And then you see my last two shots there, and it's pretty close. And I think that last shot was just barely left, and I think I pulled that one too. So it should be good to go. It's just, you know, I'm standing freehand and whatnot. So that's pretty much good to go. I mean, it's a tad high. I might want to drop it down a couple clicks, but we should be good to go now to hit these steel targets. Had to readjust there, and in the process of twisting and keep going left, I was bringing my arms too close to my body there, but we're still getting them. Let me load up. I usually jinx myself this way, but just 3 here, since we got 3 standing back there. The target's been moved back a little compared to this. Currently it sets at about 17 yards. That is laser rangefinder confirmed. So that's like a headshot at 17 yards. Hopefully we can get all 3 in a row. Standing freehand without missing. If you guys are looking to get yourself a good budget rangefinder, link in the description for this one. Been using it for years, love it. And it's usually a little more difficult. I think it makes for a cooler shot like this for you guys. Makes it a little more difficult for me to hit them, but let's see. 17 yards freehand. And those are about 4 inches across. I measured them before. There you go. And I know it's only 3, but typically I can run clear across all of them, no issue. I knew that was going to happen. Been having issues with these hand loads. This gun, just this gun, doesn't like the primers on these. We were doing really good there, and I'm trying to wrap it for you guys, and now it wants to act up on me. Come on! So hopefully you guys just saw those rifle shots. Hopefully we made it down there today to throw that in a video. Rifle range, 50 yards minimum. Like I said, I take their optics out to 100 yards accurately all the time, no problem. 6 MOA, doesn't matter, it's still plenty small of a dot to do that. Lifetime warranty, all the features you could ask for. Daytime bright, very competitively priced. And yeah, just like the Cat SRS6 that I tested, for me, with my astigmatism, once I put my glasses on, perfectly round, crisp little red dot there for me. So I love these things, especially with my astigmatism. But even before I started testing these models, still loved them because they were some of the best looking optics with my astigmatism in the industry. They've never failed me. I even got a torture test on one. Check out the parts, accessories, and optics playlist for all that. If you guys want to get yourself any of the products you see me using in my videos, like my target stand there, target I use, steel target, safety glasses, ear muffs, rangefinder, way more, all that linked in the description under the video. And for things I cannot link to on YouTube, make sure you check out my campsite page. But thanks for stopping by, checking this one out today, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope to catch you on the next one.